Okay, so this is another DLP practice problem. So this is a Unit 5 problem, and we're talking about acids and bases, and in this case it's balanced chemical equations. So the problem is this. Calcium hydroxide is mixed with phosphoric acid, and they say write a balanced chemical equation for each of the scenarios. So again, calcium hydroxide is mixed with phosphoric acid. So the first thing we want to realize is that this is going to be a BCE, right? Balanced chemical equation, that's what they tell you. So remember, that's what you're going to have to do, and here are the steps, right? You start with translating it, then balance charge, then balance mass. Okay, but we have another cool trick. Calcium hydroxide, here I wrote it here, it's a OH minus, it's an ion, it's one of the polyatomic ions on the back of our sheet, but hydroxide. And if you check your blue sheet, calcium and hydroxide is a strong base, okay? But on the other side, phosphoric acid is also an acid. It's not a strong acid, but it's a weak acid. And we need to recognize that this is an acid-base reaction. And any acid-base reaction, when you do the balanced chemical equation, it ends in water plus salt. Normally, and you'll see, like, logically, it becomes HOH, but HOH is another way of saying H2O, which is water. So we always have a water plus an ionic compound. Okay, so before we get into our BCE, I want us just to know phosphoric acid is H3PO4, and I want us to recognize that PO4 is a polyatomic ion called phosphate, and it has a -3 charge. Those are important. It's on your blue sheet, but I just wanted to write it all out here. Okay, last thing, there's 5 types of reactions, and we know it's not combustion, it's not decomposition, it's not synthesis, because it didn't say any of that. And here, look at me, I wrote calcium hydroxide, right, CaOH, plus H3PO4, right, plus phosphoric acid. And I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be double replacement, because we have 2 things here and 2 things here. So we're going to have to do double replacement. Okay, here, I didn't solve it, but I just wrote calcium hydroxide plus H3PO4, right, becomes HOH plus calcium phosphate, because we have water plus ionic compound. Now I wrote charge keep as, right, +2, -1, +1, -3, but that's already solved. +1, -1, and then +2, -3. But down here is where I did it correctly. So first, we're going to start by balancing charge, right? I wrote calcium hydroxide. I wrote a 2 down here, subscript, because 2 times -1 is +2, and calcium is +2, right? We're going to say hydrogen 3, right? That's what, they already gave us that. That's phosphoric acid. So that's on that side, that's fine, right? And now we have HOH. They balance together. I mean, they cancel, like, 1 and -1, so we're good. And here we have calcium 3 and phosphate 2, right? Because you flip the charges. We have 2 and 3, so now we're going to say 3 and 2. Okay, now we got a balanced mass. I saw that we had 3 calciums here, right? So I multiplied calcium by 3 here, okay? And then I'm going to see that we have 6 hydroxides, so I wrote 6 here, and then we had 6 hydrogen, so I wrote a 2 here, and if you check, we got 3 calcium on this side, 3 calcium on this side. 3 times 2, so 6 hydroxides, 6 hydroxides. Now 2 times 3 hydrogens, so 6 hydrogens, 6 hydrogens, and lastly 2 times phosphate, 2 phosphate, and 2 phosphate right down there. So that is our balanced chemical equation on the bottom. I hope you learned a little bit about acid bases, and thanks for watching.